Hello friends and welcome to Raj Malhotra's IAS. So we are in the third week of our current affairs session. For all those who are new to this series, let me just introduce you briefly to this initiative of our academy. So every week from Monday to Saturday, we are bringing in front of you some of the most important current affairs that are important for your UPSC prelims 2022 and also other state and examinations. So today I'll be discussing with you the current affairs related to IR, that is international relations, and your art and culture part. Okay. So the topics of today's discussion would be firstly the FATF, the Financial Action Task Force. We will be discussing in detail what is it, what are its objectives, the famous lists of FATF, grey list, black list, all that will be discussed in this session. Right, then the important Puri Heritage Corridor project, what is it, what are the issues currently in it, all that will be discussed. Then art and culture parts, important topic, Soharai murals, we will discuss about them. What are murals, what are Soharai murals, what are the important components of these murals. These are very important topics for your prelims perspective, for Punjab PCS and even your UPSC prelims. So that is why they will be discussed. And finally, we will be moving to the Pandrethan temple. Right. So stay tuned in this discussion. You will get a lot to learn from this session that will be useful for your prelims examination. Right. So let's begin. So the first issue that we are going to discuss is about the FATF. Okay. So the news that was there, in the previous week that said that Pakistan has been retained in FATF's grey list. ठीक है, Pakistan has been retained in the FATF's grey list. So here, before discussing this news item, we will first discuss the basics of your organization, FATF. Right. So this organization is very important for your GS2 IR part. Mains maybe there can be a question on FATF, and in prelims it is very high potential organization FATF where questions can be asked. Right. So we will discuss all the factual information that you can use in your mains answer writing as well as for solving your prelims questions. So first of all, about the organization. See, the name suggests Financial Action Task Force. So the name itself suggests that this body has been, formulated to take financial action against certain parties who do not abide by the rules that FATF sets. Okay. Task force just means a grouping. Okay. And to take financial financial action against the non-abiding parties. Right. So now this organization is an intergovernmental decision-making body. Decisions किस पे लेते हैं? They have certain objectives like money laundering को prevent करना, to prevent terrorist financing. Okay, with regard to that, they take decisions and they prevent countries from, financing such illegal activities. Right. For that, this organization was set up in 1989. Right. Its secretariat is present in Paris. Okay, and it has 39 members, including 37 countries, individual countries, and 2 regional organizations. Right. This is a very important point. अगर आपका prelims का statement बनेगा तो इसी point पे बनेगा कि they may ask that FATF has 35 member countries, 39 member countries, sorry. So that is a wrong statement because it has 37 member countries and 2 regional organizations as its member. Okay. Now those 2 regional organizations are important, and those organizations are the European Commission and the Gulf Cooperation Council. So this facts you have to remember. It will help you, solve your prelims ke questions, eliminate those questions, the options that are irrelevant. Okay. So all these 3 facts are very important. Right. Next is the status of India with regard to FATF. So India is not a founder member of FATF. ठीक है, 2006 में it became an observer. Right. And then finally in 2010 it became a full-time member of FATF. So what does that mean? That India was not the founder member of FATF. यहाँ पे भी question easily prelims में बन सकता है. They will give you a statement that India is a founder member of FATF and you will have to choose, is that right or wrong? Right? So in that context, this statement is also relevant. India is not a founder member of FATF. Right? Now moving ahead, like I said, ki FATF has some objectives. There are three main objectives of FATF, right? Starting with, in 1989, the first objective of FATF was to control money laundering, right? Then it moved on to add another objective, that was to combat terrorist financing. Terrorist organizations को किसी भी प्रकार की फाइनेंसिंग और फंडिंग नहीं मिलनी चाहिए थ्रू एनी स्टेट और नॉन स्टेट एक्टर. दैट इज व्हाट इज मेड श्योर बाय द FATF working bodies, right? Finally, they also keep a check on the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. WMD means weapons of mass destruction, like nuclear weapons, chemical weapons or biological weapons, okay, that have an impact on a huge population. Those weapons are known as weapons of mass destruction, right? Now this money laundering is again a very important topic for your GS3 security portion, right? So ise bhi you will have to cover in detail for GS mains especially, okay? So these are the three, I'll just briefly discuss this topic here, okay? So these are the three main steps of your money laundering: placement, layering, integration. So basically money laundering is just the conversion of illegally accumulated money into legal financial system, right? जो जैसे illegal means क्या हो सकते हैं to get money? That can be trafficking, drug trafficking, human trafficking, human slavery or pornography. All these activities are very illegal activities in any jurisdiction, in any country, right? So but people engage in such activities and they also generate a lot of money out of these activities, right? Now they cannot directly use that money in the financial system because tax authorities will get to the source of the money and the source is illegal, right? So now they have to convert this illegally gotten money into some legal fashion, okay? They have to show that this money has come from a legal source. So that is where money laundering is used, right? So आप detail में इसे GS3 के mains portion में पढ़ेंगे. Because of our constraints, this lecture is related to prelims, prelims aspects. So I'm not going to discuss the details, but do cover this topic. This is an important one, right? Now, FATF, next important point about FATF is the FATF lists. So FATF has two lists, the black list and the grey list, okay? So mainly FATF categorizes the countries into these two lists, okay? All those countries who completely are non-compliant with the conditions of FATF are kept in the blacklist. Okay, like I told you that FATF has three objectives: to control money laundering, terrorist finance and weapons of mass destruction, okay? So to ensure कि वो guidelines are met, it gives certain kind of conditions, like 40 conditions it gave to Pakistan to be fulfilled to remain out of its blacklist. ठीक है? So it gives certain conditions to the countries to be met by those countries to control money laundering or terrorist finance, right? So when those countries do not meet any of those conditions, not even a single condition is met by a country, that country would be put in the blacklist, okay? And there are two such countries in the world that are under the blacklist of FATF. Those are North Korea and Iran. For now, these two are the countries that are present in the FATF's blacklist, okay? These are the non-compliant countries who do not comply with the recommendations or directions of your FATF, right? Now the second type of list is the grey list. So as the name suggests, it's just a kind of a warning sign for all those countries who have met some conditions of FATF but have not totally complied with the FATF's conditions. Okay, so it's a warning signal to these countries कि आप जल्दी से जल्दी हमारी conditions, सारी conditions को meet कीजिए, otherwise you will also be put into the blacklist, right? So this is the kind of first step, and then you move to this step. Currently Pakistan is the major country that is located in this grey list. As we all know that Pakistan, time and again India has also presented evidence that Pakistan shelters terrorists, it finances terrorist activities. So we entire world believes that Pakistan supports is a sanctuary for terrorism, so that's why it being in the grey list is very much justified. But to remain out of the black list, Pakistan takes a few measures that do not have much value in practice, but they do take certain measures to show the international bodies that they are taking some action against these terrorist organizations or terrorist funding. So that is why they mostly remain in the grey list only. So since 2018 they have been in the grey list, right? Because they have not been able to comply fully with the conditions of FATF, so they are still in the grey list. So that is why this was in news. They have been again in this year also put in the grey list by the FATF. Okay? Now what impacts does it make to be included in a grey list or blacklist, right? So majorly the countries are economically impacted when they are under any of the two lists of the FATF, right? Now देखिए, if a country is in these lists, that means the world bodies, world investors, they do not have any confidence in investing or trading with these countries. ठीक है, अब जैसे IMF, World Bank किसी को भी लोन देना होगा, they will think multiple times before giving any loan to Pakistan because it's being recognized as a terrorist hub. So that's why इसकी economic social condition किसी भी time पे खराब हो सकती है. So the investors, the businessmen, the traders, the lending authorities, they do not want to waste or risk their investments and finances by putting in this country, risky country, right? सो इसी वजह से बहुत सारे ट्रेड पे इम्पैक्ट होता है इनकी. आउटसाइड लेंडर्स आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन गिविंग देम एनी फाइनेंस. Outside traders are not very much interested in engaging in business with these countries. So in that way it impacts the economy of a country, right? अगर ये ब्लैक लिस्ट हो गया तो बिल्कुल ही इसकी कंट्री की इकोनॉमी जो है ख़त्म हो जाएगी. इनकी जो credit rating है that will also fall severely, right? So these are the impacts of being listed. India has always tried कि Pakistan को it can get into the blacklist because we all know that Pakistan is a terrorist hub. They promote terrorist activities, so they should be punished for that and to control all the terrorism that is there in the country. This is the only way. FATF is the major body, international body to check terrorism. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए this issue is very important, can be asked in your prelims as well as mains. So do cover all these factual information with great detail, right? Now the next topic of our discussion is the Puri Heritage Corridor project, right? This is the famous Jagannath temple located at Puri, Odisha. We are talking about Odisha here. Okay, so first of all, let's just see why this is in news. So recently your Archaeological Survey of India, ASI, or the Archaeological Survey of India, it said that this Puri Heritage Corridor project of Odisha government, it's environmentally degrading, it's not sustainable. Okay, it will harm the heritage of the Jagannath temple that already exists, right? How it is claiming so? So according to your Ancient Monuments Act, okay, एक हेरिटेज बिल्डिंग के 100 मीटर के रेडियस के अराउंड you cannot construct any new construction. Because see, this heritage building is very old, its construction is dilapidated and old. So if you bring new constructions around very near to this building, this building's structural survival is threatened. Okay, so to prevent any threat to this old heritage building, this law provides that 100 meters ke distance mein there can be no new construction. Right now, ASI says that this Puri Heritage Corridor project, it has some new buildings that will come up within this 100-meter territory, right? And that is not legally allowed, right? So that is why ASI has told the Odisha government to relook into its Puri Heritage project. Okay, now with regard to this news, we have two important topics for your prelims. One is the Puri Heritage project itself, and second would be your Jagannath temple, which is under consideration. ठीक है, दोनों ही टॉपिक आपके प्री के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाएंगे, दोनों में से क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. स्पेशली जगन्नाथ टेम्पल, a very important temple that is part of your art and culture, temples and architecture का part, right? So first let's discuss about the project itself. Okay, so this is the 32,000 crore rupees project in total, right? It will have 22 projects under it. Okay, total इनकी cost जो estimate की गई है that is 3,200 crores, and it will be divided into 22 sub projects. Phase 1 of the project costs rupees 800 crore. It was about to start when this Archaeological Survey of India has given this notification to the Odisha government to relook into the sustainability of the project. Right now, this project is also the part of this main scheme of Odisha government, that is augmentation of basic amenities and development of heritage and architecture scheme. ठीक है, सो बेसिकली क्या होता है, these heritage buildings anywhere you see in India, our monuments and these sites like Taj Mahal, they are not very well maintained. So when they are not very well maintained, it impacts the tourist inflow into that place. ठीक है, if you have ever read the World Economic Forum's Travel and Tourism Index also, that also says that the major reason for low tourist inflow into India is the lack of cleanliness, sanitation in Indian cities, right? Especially at these cities of interest, the tourist cities like Agra, Taj Mahal, Agra Fort and all these places, right? तो अब उस चीज को combat करने के लिए our government has also launched an important project. Can anyone tell me the national government's project to take care of the heritage buildings and ensure well developed roads, sanitary conditions and all that stuff around the heritage buildings? Please comment in the comment box what is the central government scheme related to heritage buildings. Okay, like that, this ABADHA scheme is launched by the Odisha government to create world class heritage city at Puri. Puri is a very important city because it houses the famous Jagannath temple. So to increase the tourist inflow into this city at this place, the Odisha government is targeting on refurbishing, rebuilding, building amenities and all that stuff, roads, lighting, security and everything in this city. Okay, that is the target of this project, right? So anyone, what is the national government's scheme related to heritage and heritage development, the city's development? So the central government's project related to similar theme is Amrut, right? It is also focused on creating good facilities, infrastructure, roads and all that stuff around the heritage buildings, right? Now the next and very important topic for your prelims is the Jagannath temple with regard to this Puri Heritage Corridor project, right? So first of all, see location dekh lijiye, it is basically located in Odisha, Puri, as we have already discussed. So it is located, this is your Odisha state. At the coast of this state, this Jagannath temple is located. right? It was built in the 12th century by the Eastern Ganga dynasty. Again, a very important dynasty. You can see its geographical location. The today's areas of Orissa were occupied by this Eastern Ganga dynasty. Iska architecture is also very important for your pre and mains perspective, so do cover it. Jagannath is one important temple. There is another important temple that this dynasty built. You must know about that also. We will discuss in some time about that also, right? So now this Jagannath temple is a Vaishvanite temple. That means it is related to Vishnu or the avatars of Vishnu, right? This is again a very important point to remember. Okay, now it is also known as the Yamanaka Tirtha. This is some factual information that you have to remember about this temple. Okay, now the next set of points. It is also known as the White Pagoda. White Pagoda, why? Because it's built of white marble, right? So, it is known as the White Pagoda. Can any one of you tell me which temple is known as the Black Pagoda? In comment box, please type which temple is also known as the Black Pagoda. Okay, so because of the use of the white marble, this one is known as the white pagoda. Okay, it is also a part of the Char Dham famous pilgrimage. Okay, the 4 sites, Badrinath, Dwarka, Rameshwar and Puri, that is Jagannath temple, is part of the Char Dham pilgrimage project, right? Now every year a Ratha Yatra or chariot festival is conducted in this temple. Okay, so what happens is 3 wooden chariots are built. In this, 3 deities of the temple are situated, that is Lord Jagannatha, his sister Subhadra and his brother Balbhadra. Okay, so these 3 deities are positioned in these chariots and they are taken out on a yatra in the entire town, right? This is a very important kind of festival. It can also be asked in your prelims, okay, in the festivals section. Okay, wooden chariots are used. That is also a key point to remember, right? These are the 3 lords that are situated in this yatra, right? Now, yeah, you are right. Black Pagoda is the Konark Sun Temple, and Konark Sun Temple is also the second temple built by your Eastern Ganga dynasty. Okay, must remember this, must do the architectural details of both these temples. बहुत ही important है for your mains as well as your prelims, so must focus on both of these temples. Konark temple को भी ध्यान से आप cover कीजिए. Jagannath has been completed here. On these lines itself you can prepare the Konark temple also, right? Now the third topic for today's discussion is Soharai murals. Soharai murals, right? So before we start discussing about Soharai murals, we will first see what exactly murals are. You might be hearing them again and again, and there might be some confusion among you all that what murals are. So murals is nothing but any painting that is done on the walls or the ceilings. Okay, the huge level of paintings that are done on the walls or ceilings of a place are generally known as the murals. So graffitis are, for example, a good example of today's times murals, right? These pictures are also the examples of murals, right? Now why is this relevant, Sohrai murals? तो जैसे मैंने आपको ये 2015 का UPSC क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे प्रेजेंट किया है अबाउट द कलमकारी पेंटिंग. This is a UPSC question where UPSC asked about your kalamkari painting. That kalamkari painting refers to, the answer is A. So now this was also a topic of current affairs in 2015 when UPSC asked about this, right? So इसी वजह से जो आज हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं जगन्नाथ टेम्पल, सोहराय और पंद्रेनाथ टेम्पल that we will discuss, all those are important because they are in your current affairs and they can be asked by UPSC like they asked the Kalamkari paintings. This is also again important. Do read about Kalamkari also, right? Now, what are Soharai murals? So basically these are the wall paintings that are made by your Santhal women to celebrate their harvest festival, that is Soharai. Okay, जैसे पंजाब में बैसाखी होता है, गुड़ी पड़वा होता है महाराष्ट्र में, उगदी होता है कर्नाटका में. So like that, Sohrai is the harvest festival of Santhals. Okay, to celebrate that harvest festival, these women decorate the walls of their houses with some paintings which are known as the Soharai murals, right? That is the basic concept. Now another community, that is Bhumij community, also makes such Soharai murals, right? Now these Soharai murals have also received geographical indication tag, okay, for 2020, but this has been awarded only to the women of Hazaribagh district who do not belong to the Santhal tribe. Okay, so ये fact is very important. Must remember this fact that Sohrai paintings have received GI tag, but that has been awarded to the non-Santhal tribal women of Hazaribagh district. Okay, ये सारी factual information ही याद करनी पड़ेगी आपको. There is no way out of this. Okay, art and culture part is mainly factual and you have to learn the facts of each and any topic that is asked in the question. So these are the facts that you have to learn about Soharai murals. Right now, these are some important details about it. ठीक है, तो motifs, what are the designs that are made under these paintings? So as you can see in this painting, peacocks are drawn, some elephants are also drawn. Okay, different birds, squirrels, elephants, flowers, peacocks are drawn, and also geometric shapes. Geometric shapes मतलब rectangle, square. Okay, rectangle, square, triangle, circle, rhombus, all these shapes are also used in your Soharai murals. Soharai murals में use होती हैं ये सारी shapes and figures, right? This is important point, पूछा जा सकता है, that is why it has been included, right? Then the main colors used in these paintings are red, white and black. Okay, and these colors are obtained from natural sources like mud or sand. तो कोई भी artificial coloring is not used to paint these murals. These people, these women make their own colors using natural sources like mud or leaves they may use, right? Now they use cloth to paint these paintings. ठीक है, कपड़ा लेके they can ऐसे dab the color. That is how they'll use a cloth. They can also use neem twigs, वो होती हैं पेड़ की टहनियाँ ऐसे to paint. They can use that, and they also use broken combs, टूटे हुए कंघियाँ. They can also use to paint these murals, right? This is again important. कलमकारी में भी ऑप्शन में यही पूछा गया था कि हैंड पेंटिंग होती है या बैम्बू से पेंटिंग होती है या किस चीज़ से पेंटिंग होती है. दैट इज़ वाई ऑल दीज फैक्ट्स आर इम्पॉर्टेंट, राइट? एंड द बैकग्राउंड दैट इज यूज्ड इन दीज पेंटिंग्स कैन बी ब्लैक, कैन बी रेड और कैन बी द नेचुरल कलर ऑफ द वॉल इटसेल्फ, राइट? So these are again some factual informations very important for this topic. Please make a note of these facts also, and all those who are asking about the PDFs, you will get it in our Telegram channel. Okay, so after this session do check the Telegram session, you will get the PDF, right? But I would recommend कि साथ में you keep making notes. Why waste time again and again? Make your notes now itself while I am discussing, right? The last topic for today's discussion is Pandrethan temple, right? Pandrethan temple of Kashmir. This was also in news. So first of all, let's just see that why was this temple in news. So see, this temple has been restored by Indian Army's important corps named Chinar Corps. Right, Chinar Corps helped restore this building, and for their contribution they have been recognized by the National Monuments Authority. Right, so that's why this Pandrethan temple has been in news, क्योंकि इनकी contribution की वजह से they have built a themed heritage park here. They have also restored the building. So to reward or recognize their contribution for the restoration of this temple, National Monument Authority has recognized their contribution. That is why this was in news. Now we will study here. Two topics become again important for us. First is the Pandrethan temple itself, and then the National Monuments Authority. Right, both of those will discuss here. So first about the Pandrethan temple. Right, this is the temple that is located in Kashmir. Right, this was built in the 8th century by Kashmir ruler's minister, that is Meru. Unka naam tha, he was named Meru, and that is why this temple was also known back then as the Meru Vardhana Swami. Right, Pandrethan temple was also known as Meru Vardhana Swami because Meru made this temple. Right, now this temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva. Jagannath temple में हमने देखा that is a Vaishvanite temple. That means that is dedicated to Vishnu or the avatars of Vishnu. And this temple is a Shaivite temple and it is dedicated to Lord Shiva. Right, now this temple is located in a square shaped tank, as you can see in the picture, and it is located at the north bank of the Jhelum river. All this factual information is very important. Anywhere a question can be asked by UPSC. That is why please make a note of this, all these points. Right, now discussing about the architectural details of this temple, you see these domes and these kind of triangular structures, they are a very prominent feature of your Kashmir architecture. ठीक है, आप और भी बिल्डिंग्स देखेंगे कश्मीर आर्किटेक्चर की, दे ऑल्सो हैव सच डोम्ड domed roofs and arches. These are very famous in your Kashmir architecture. तो आपके art and architecture में भी you must read about this Kashmir architecture. Right, then there also this Pandrethan temple can be used and as an example by you. अगर मेंस में भी कभी क्वेश्चन आए तो आप ये प्रीलिम्स की इंफॉर्मेशन भी, to enrich your answers you can always use these informations. Right, so that is how the architectural relevance of this temple comes up. Right, now it's believed that the entire city of Pandrethan, Kashmir की जो ये city है Pandrethan, that was destroyed in a fire. Right, the only remaining temple of this city or only remaining evidence or structure of the city is this Pandrethan temple that we discussed here. Right, पूरी city जल गई थी, only the Pandrethan temple is what remains. Right, now there are some important structures in this temple also dating back to the 2nd century. You see there are two monolithic rock Shiva lingams. Monolithic means from one stone. Lithic is stone, mono means one. So made from one stone, there are two Shiva lingams present in this temple. Right, then there are 7 Gandhara style sculptures. Can anyone tell me where is Gandhar located on the world map? Can you please tell me that in the comment sections? Afghanistan, yeah, Pranjal Tripathi, you are right. Afghanistan is the place where this is located. So you have also read it in the context of Buddhist architecture. ठीक है, Gandhara school you read. So here also 7 Gandhara style sculptures have been found. Right, and finally some monolithic statues have been found here. Right, so that is all the important information required about this temple. And finally, we will discuss about the National Monuments Authority. Such bodies are really important. UPSC keeps asking such bodies, like FASI they have already asked, right? They can also ask about ISC. So such bodies have already been asked. So National Monuments Authority is also important, and the important points about this authority is that it is under the purview of your Ministry of Culture. ये बहुत ध्यान से याद करना है, right? This is under the control or the purview of your Ministry of Culture of India, right? And it is also a statutory body. A statutory body. Why? Because it has been built under this law, that is the Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act 2010, right? जो भी लॉ के अंडर बनी होती है बॉडीज, दे आर नोन एज दी स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडीज. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो अ स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी, राइट? It has a chairperson, 5 full-time and 5 part-time members with a secretary, right? These members can be asked in the UPSC, right? And finally, the Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India is the ex officio member of this authority. ठीक है? Ex officio means by the position itself. Whoever holds the position of Director General of Archaeological Survey of India will also become the member of the National Monuments Authority, right? Right, so these were all the important topics for today. We first discussed the Financial Action Task Force, right? That is very relevant for your IR portion. Located in Paris, set up in 1989, and India not being the founder member, and it working for preventing money laundering, terrorist finance, and curbing weapons of mass destruction, right? These are the important points about your FATF. Next, the Puri Heritage Corridor project, again a very important topic, being built in Odisha, the city of Puri, and then the temple of Jagannath, built by Eastern Ganga dynasty with white marble, is again an important topic, along with the Konark Sun temple, right? Then we move to the Sohrai murals of Jharkhand. They belong to Jharkhand, the Santhal tribes. They have also received GI tag, okay, and they use animals and geometrical shapes as the motifs, done with cloth, twigs or combs, broken combs, and using natural colors only. That are the important points about Soharai. Finally, the Pandrethan temple, located in Kashmir, built by Meru, right? Situated in a square tank and on the banks of Jhelum river, right? So all these topics are very important for your prelims perspective. Do make the key notes out of these topics, right? So, and that was all about this discussion. Tomorrow you will get a recorded session of your social issues part taken by your Drishti ma'am, right? Join us for that discussion also. It will also enrich your preparation. Thank you so much for joining.